Hey guys, Citizen Dad here. Special thanks to all of those who actually want to hear me out. A lot of requests that I've been getting, not really, but a special thanks to them too, because they want to hear me out. They want to hear what I have to say. And all of those that anybody has any type of issues, which we all do, problems, we want to hear about the food, the products, we hear about the fashion, the clothing, the entertainment, the medical field, the justice system, the porn industry, I want to hear about all these things, what's going on behind the curtains. People that are giving their lives for to spill out the truth, to do what they have to do, going behind enemy lines and just taking pictures, videos, telling their stories, and all of that is kind of just swept under a rug, So basically what I've done is just kind of gathered research and investigated and kind of done everything that I could to kind of gather all the information, because I'm kind of obsessive when it comes to that. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Citizen Dad. If you want to hear me out, if you want to not be lost about anything, you want to hear the truth about things, if you really want to know about the universe, what we're really truly doing here, who you really are. I've came out a lot of times before, under the table, I've helped people, I've changed bloodlines, pretty much done exactly what all of you guys have been doing. So I'm kind of giving out my own little perspective of my experience, my detailed information, my methods, a lot of things that I've learned that a lot of people don't even know about, that are so simple that you can actually do. And it's just to change lives. It's just to help people. That's why I got my nickname. And if you want to make that choice to absorb the knowledge, I guarantee you it'll open up that door to kind of help you seek and search and actually find exactly what you are looking for. But you gotta pay attention and not just know it, but understand it, because there's a big difference between knowing and understanding things. So just hear me out, hear what I gotta say. So thank you for sticking around. Wow, curiosity, right? I mean, what does this guy have to say? I mean, there's only one word and one reason why we are even here to begin with, and that's one word, that's called connection. Our connection is just to be connected to anything and everything all at the same time. But there's so many distractions that they actually put out in front of everybody that is so hard to maintain any type of understanding, because we got so many people saying all these different type of things. So I'm just going to basically say the truth, give you the knowledge and everything that you need to not only survive, but to be a little bit more smarter and everything out there. So I'm going to be kind of throwing all these types of things at you, little piece by piece, and it's up to you to gather that information and knowledge and run with it. And that's how you start opening doors for yourself. I'm going to give you answers to a lot of things. You'd be like, what? I didn't even know that was happening or going on or what? And like I said, a lot of these things, are just kind of produced and investigated and researched and developed, and it's all out there, but they're all cover-ups. They're all trying to cover it up, sweep it under the rug, and then next thing you know, they're coming out with a new movie or something. Yo, man, let's go watch that movie because it looks better than what we're actually learning about, right? So that's what they want to do. They want us to drag our feet. They want us to kind of get in line, stay in line. They want us to be the products that we are. And I'm going to show you how we're actually products. Now, everything that's actually happening right now politically, I mean, it's basically simple understanding if you know the personality of how our government works. Now, it's the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Now let's go back a couple of thousand years. Even when the government began, there's always been a strategizing type of ways where they all get together and they try to figure out, how can we control this village? How can we control people so they can pay taxes? Well, from the very beginning, even through church as the number one that we're actually doing all of this strategizing, it was basically fear. We got to put fear into the people. We got to put fear into them in order for them to understand, because it seems like when we do things the nice way, they're not understanding. We got to get them in line. We got to get them to be afraid. And that way they're going to pay their taxes and do what we're going to tell them to do. So I want you to imagine, because this is what I want you to do. I need you to follow my lead when I just kind of take you through something real quick, because you need to understand the personality of things. A lot of people right away, when they see something on TV or they hear the president just said this, or that is going on, or this is going on, or my relationship, or whatever, they're not taking a step back. They're just seeing exactly what's in front of them. And that's one method that I want you guys to kind of hear me out on, is take a step back. It's one of my methods. It's one thing that I learned. Well, it's not my method. It's things that I learn about, you know. So, but I like to kind of teach that method, and helping you kind of not drag your feet as far as trying to know exactly what's happening in front of you, because that is what everybody's seeing, what's right in front of them. You got to see exactly what's behind the curtain. And in order to know the behind the curtain, you got to understand their personality. Why are they doing this? Anything that gets the rich richer and the poor poorer, that it doesn't matter how horrific or violent or bad it actually seems or looks like when you see millions of people dying or thousands of people dying, or we put our soldiers into the freaking in just war. No, it's all money, money, money. Everything is just a huge cycle of this orchestrated type thing that's going on and happening for the whole world. Okay, let me just throw out another example. In 2008, USA, the country, oh my God, here I go. 2008, the country was in debt. Everything was going wrong. The economy was about to go under. But guess what saved the actual country? Drugs did. Marijuana, cocaine, heroin, all of it. All the money and all the power, and it's all strategized. I mean, even when you watch a movie, you really think it's just a movie. You got to read the subliminal messaging. You got to read the messaging that's going on in there. When you see a movie with the CIA is helping the cartels out there and putting drugs into our country, it may sound bad. It may sound nuts. People are dying, wars. You got officers dying. You got Border Patrol. You got the Homeland Security. You got everybody just... It looks like a huge fallout type of war and everything, but it's for a purpose and it's for a reason. A lot of people aren't gonna like it because, you know, we gotta sweep it under and cover up and do everything we gotta do for people not to really understand the truth or know the truth. We gotta keep coming out with all of these things so to distract the people. You know, every show that comes out, every movie, every device that update, you know, games, you know, whatever it is, you know, porn, you know, I mean, all of it is set in place for a certain purpose because they've already figured out exactly how to brainwash and hypnotize us to where we're going to be so distracted, we have no idea what is really going on. So that is just my basic understandings to help the knowledge of all of you guys that actually wanted to know about a lot of things. Well, let me tell you something. Take a step back and kind of figure things out. Wait a minute, it's not this, it's not that. Why did they do that? Why did this person die? It's for a reason, it's for a purpose. And only the universe has the answers for all of these things. And you can call it whatever you want. You can call it the Supreme Being. You can call it Buddha. You can call it Jesus Christ. You can call it whatever you want. But there's only one universe that's going on out there. All these stories that are set in motion to give to us, a book is given to us, so we got to believe what they're telling us to believe. We got to do what they're telling us to do. I want you to imagine something. You go into a church, you're praying to God, but if God were to talk back to you, you automatically are put in an asylum. Automatically, you're a crazy person. Automatically, your kids get taken away. I want you to think about that for a second. We are a controlled society. That means we have to be in line and controlled. Call it slavery if you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it, but that is the truth. Anytime something comes out, it's for a purpose to distract us from everything else. So let's talk about our food. Wow, do you really think that that's real meat that you're eating? Wow, it does taste good. It tastes something like that. But we got all these smart scientists and laboratories that are doing everything they can. I mean, whatever you want to call it, Area 51, Area 120, Area 500, Area X, whatever it is, you know, underground, you know, whatever. They do a lot of things that kind of help come up with something. Now, they got to come up with it, and now they got to kind of move on towards something that's a little bit stronger. Well, so not only is that not real meat, but it actually has chemicals in there to kind of keep people on edge. And when people are on edge, people get, you know, kind of jittery, you know. I mean, there's arguments, there's domestic violence, there's homicides, there's all kinds of things that are happening. We're wanting drugs, we want to drink, we want to do certain things. We're stressing out. We need to watch this show that's coming out. anything that actually helps us pleasurable within our minds, because we are so hypnotized by everything that, wow, if that's actually in the burger, that's gonna kind of enhance everything to kind of want us to do something like that. You want to shop, or maybe we're in a bad argument, we're pissed off. I mean, whatever it is, we don't go to work the next day. You know, we don't want to work, we don't want to do this. You know, a lot of things that we're here, we're all molded. All right, how exactly how you're, whatever life that you have right now, whatever you have that's going on right now, it's all just you being molded into something. The depth of understanding, a lot of minds are not going to actually understand this because it's too much for them. It sounds too freaking wow, but I'm getting this all information, truth but nothing but the truth, from people that have given their lives to all these things. You look at a documentary, you're going to see all of these things. I mean, whatever it's about, they're going to try to get the truth out. They're trying to do whatever they can. All these little production companies are trying to sweep everything under the rug, but they're trying to label it and teach you guys little pieces and little pieces, but not the full truth. Okay, just throwing things out there. Let's just say like a charity. You know, you go to your grocery store and you would you like to give $1 to the homeless? You know, all right, I'm giving $1 to the homeless. Are you really thinking that that money's actually going to the homeless? You would like to believe it, right? I mean, I would like to believe it if I were to give $1. So many groups out there that are just trying to fight for the survival of something else. And they're not realizing where their money goes. Can you really follow that money? Can you really follow your dollar and know for a fact that it goes to that actual organization when you donate it? Oh, right? You don't have 100% answers to anything. So there's people out there that actually give their lives going behind the scenes, going behind enemy lines and trying to figure out what is going on and what is happening. Some get through and they sweep it under the rug. You're not privileged with anything. It's only to keep us all in line, distract us from whatever it is that they need to distract us from. Now, I'm just going out of proportion, just throwing everything that I can out there. I mean, just like the water that you drink, that actually comes from the poop that goes down into the sewers, and everybody's freaking pooping everywhere, flushing the toilet, and it all goes down into this filtration system to where our poop is smashed up into steam that goes rising into a freaking $1 billion filtration system, and right at the end of it, the steam is all filtrated and all the way down until we start drinking that water and it tastes good, right? Well, did you know that's where it comes from? Did you know that's where it comes from? Did you know that's where it comes from? Now, not only that, with our poop, we have everything that has been intelligently, scientifically proven through laboratories that when we eat and our body kind of digests and produces certain things, we have precious metals that are inside of us. We have gold that actually is inside of us. And that's 0.006 or whatever, but when it goes through that filtration system processing, not only does water come out, but we're also getting a lot of other things through this poop, and it's gold, so if I'm 0.0006, it's like, that's like a grain of sand, barely a grain of sand, not even a grain of sand. But if we keep doing it every day for hundreds of thousands of people within the city, guess what? We have gold. That makes us actual products. If you have anything going on medically, if you're confused about anything, if you, for some reason, you lost somebody, you can't handle it, if for some reason there's just somewhere you need to be, but you don't know where it has to be, is this my life? Is this what's going on? If you're just stuck in the room thinking all of these things, trust me when I tell you, that is the way they want you to think. Everything is going as planned. And you know what all of that kind of produces in when you're angry or frustrated, going emotional kind of roller coaster, whatever it is that you're going through, keeps going on and on and on and on from there. From the deodorant that we use, right? Later on down the line, about 20 years later, you got Alzheimer's disease. Well, it's already been scientifically proven that if you keep using that special certain deodorant, pretty much almost every kind of deodorant, it's going to kind of slow us down. And that's what they want to do. They want to slow us down. When you eat something, you slow down. Sometimes you just take a nap. Sometimes there's so much hormonal stuff inside the actual food that we eat. We end up, going a little crazy, going a little nuts, Same with the alcohol. Have you ever noticed some of the liquor bottles that you drink? So sometimes you're relaxed and you're really good on it, and there's times where you're a totally different person. You have no idea who this person is, and I don't even remember what happened last night. What happened? It wants to keep us going, confusing us, pleasuring us, thinking this whole cycle and everything. We get sick, we go to the doctor. Don't get me started on that. A white coat comes in and all of a sudden we got to stand at attention. All of a sudden we got to listen to everything you got to say because he knows it all. He's trained through that cycle that I'm talking about to help you think that is what you're supposed to do. These pharmaceutical companies, trillions of dollars a year, we're just products to them. So no matter what we think, no matter how we want to try to comfortable ourselves, it's not real. It's not true. Now, if you want real, if you want truth, if you want fact, I can show you everything that you need to know through all these methods that I'm talking about. There's only one method that I'm talking about right now, and that's take a step back. You just take a step back in certain problems, certain areas in your life that you don't think, you don't understand, you're confused about. Have you ever just, I forgot where my keys are at, and they're right in front of you, right? That is exactly what they want. They don't want us to go through all of these type of high standard of getting smarter, of being more intelligent, because they know what we're capable of. They know our abilities, and they're trying to squash our spirit. They're trying to downgrade us. They're trying to keep us in line. Now, when I talk about our spirit, when I talk about a light that we actually have in us, figure out what that light is. We got to keep taking a step back, and we got to do it in a medical perspective. We got to do it in a psychological perspective. We got to do it in any way possible, in any type of perspective, in order for us to get to the truth. So we got to open our mind a little bit. We got to kind of peel off all of these type of distractions and what we're traditionally raised with, what knowledge that we actually had through the education system. I mean, don't get me started on that. We got to basically do whatever we got to do to kind of find out what's inside of us. So let me give you a quick, take a step back real quick. We got every single cell that we have, billions and billions of cells within our bodies, within our brains. Right now, with just by you thinking about something and listening to what I have to say, we have our brains through a certain spectrum of light that is just like a static storm. You can just see like a little static storm going on in your brain. Our body is a vessel, and everything that's within our body is the most important part of the universe. A lot of people say out there that we're not perfect. And let me tell you something. Yes, you are perfect. We are God-like beings. And let me explain it to you just real quick. Every single cell that we have within the cell of every single cell that we have within us is a molecule. Within that molecule is an atom. Within that atom is light. Pure, fragmented light on top of fragmented light, on top of light that you've never seen for your eyes before. Even a certain spectrum of light can see it, and you can see within us. Just like the movie Matrix, that has a very, very close of quality of production of how it really looks like within us. Every living thing that you see around us, whether it's the element of earth, we look around, we can see a tree, it's all bright in there because it's all connected to the universe. We, godlike beings, are connected to the universe. And if we are all full of light, then what does that mean? What can that tell us? We have special abilities. Did you even know that even certain movies, I'll just keep bringing up movies because I know you guys have seen certain movies, so I want you on the same page as me. So, like the movie Lucy, it kind of gives us a pinpoint towards a scientific perspective of how our brains would be powerful, and if we had a lot of more percentage that we actually use. Now they say we only use about 10-11% of our brain, and that means we can actually function the way we actually function right now. But like I said, with all the chemicals and everything that they strategize for hundreds and hundreds of years, they actually already know how to kind of downgrade us, how to put us down, because they know our abilities, they know what we're capable of. We can see the future if we want to see the future. When it comes to dreaming, when it comes to dreams, the universe tries to talk to us and speak to us, but it's not according to what it actually is. They kind of interpret it differently. Like if you have a 7-headed dragon that it has nothing to do with fear. This dragon has to do with some sort of a purpose in your life that you have to do. 7 things that you might have to do. Maybe this has to do with crops. Maybe this has to do with the weather. A lot of it is not 100% proven, no matter what website you go under. They're going to tell you this is what it means, this is what it is, whatever. So anyways, I keep going off train here, but this is what I'm trying to basically say. Thousands of years ago, we all had abilities. We all had the function of more of our brain power. Now we're getting rid of the government, or whoever's in charge back then is getting rid of all of these people that have these type of abilities. Now, when you keep going and going and going past the timeline and you start figuring out, why is it that we don't know about any of these things? We never knew about any of these things. Well, just like, a part of the Bible that they say that they can't even give the public because they don't want us to know about it. Well, they put it under the rug. They sweep it under the rug. A lot of things that we don't know about that are in the past, you would be mind-boggled. Your brain would explode, and there's so much information in the universe, your brain would melt. That is just how powerful a lot of things that are going on right now. But the more we stay in line, the more we keep being distracted, it's never going to happen. We're never going to communicate with that part of ourselves, or never find our actual inner self because of that. Now, we can do it if we really, really want to do it. And like I said, just the simple little words that I have right now. If any of you guys out there did not pass the test as far as listening to everything that I have to say and not just hearing it, not just seeing it within your own mind, not just knowing it, but understanding every single thing and absorbing everything, it's going to guide you. I promise you, it's going to guide you to where it is that you have to be. But you cannot be full of fear. If you are full of fear, everything that's within you in a Kabbalah type attitude is all going to fade away, and it's going to drown yourself. All of those that are afraid to, let's say, public speak, if you have a big fear in that, you're full of fear. You have a crunched up right here in the middle. You are being in a Kabbalah that are saying that in Kabbalah this is an inner self, an inner peace that is never going to happen. It's always going to be something about you that's going to be different. You're going to turn yourself into something that you're not. And I've been through it, and I've seen it, and I've faced it head on, and I was the worst person in the world. But now when you find it, when you truly find your inner peace and you find your inner self, a lot of things are going to open up for you like you never ever would have believed that you actually were possibly could even do or think or say or do whatever in certain every format in every single type of way. So it's very important that you know exactly what is within us, who we really are as far as deep down inside in our inner self, of how we're just filled with light. And don't believe everything that you hear, heaven and hell. That, remember, everything is there to build fear into you so it can keep you controlled. So that way, whenever you die, you're going to die. If you die a bad person, you're automatically going to burn in flames in the lake of fire. It's not even scientifically proven. How would they even know, and why would they even kind of grasp that type of readings? Maybe that they read a really good book later and say, you know what, this is a great idea. Let's go ahead and give this to the public and let everybody, even movies and everything, all just kind of grasp that heaven and hell knowledge. Trust me, when we die, it's not going to be like that. The universe does not work like that. And like I said, and how would I know that? Well, you got to keep taking a step back. And when you keep taking a step back, you're understanding things a whole lot clearer. There's so much clarity. You have to keep taking a step back, taking a deep breath and understanding things, and go outside and look at everything how it really truly is. When you see a tree, like I was talking about, you're not just seeing the tree, you're seeing exactly what it's connected to, and you can also connect yourself. Now, going back to the abilities that I was talking about, our minds are so powerful. We can go to the other side of the world within our own minds and heal somebody that has a disease or something within our own minds. Now, in a certain religion, they call that praying. All we got to do is pray for this person and send that person some light, and that'll help. Yes, that is true. There's a lot of little riddles, a lot of little things that kind of, they give you piece by piece by piece, but they're not going to give you the whole truth, but they're going to, it's like a show and tell. They're showing you something, but they're not going to be telling you everything. So it's very important that you yourself use the brain that you actually have to put everything in perspective and take a step back. And like I said, that's just one of my methods. A lot of the methods that I actually use are face-to-face, or when I had an actual class environment where people were actually listening to me and doing exactly what I would tell them to do in an unorthodox type of way. You have to give yourself to whatever it is that you got to give yourself to in order to be happier or whatever. You go to a job and you work, you're giving yourself, your life, your part of your life to that job. But we do it for a certain purpose, for a reason, and that's for a survivalist. We're leaning and going to that job and being there on time for some sort of survival. And whether we got to get paid, we got to get money, we got to put food on the table. And like I said, slavery, you can call it whatever you want, but it's something that is not really who we truly are. We're always going to be driving on our way to work and like, wow, you know, I mean, that's why a lot of people feel like that. We kind of feel like we don't want to go to work. We don't want to do anything. Well, because there's that feeling deep down inside of us that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be doing that. But we're doing it in order to survive, because if we don't do it, this is what's going to happen. Our family's going to be out there in the street, or a lot of things could happen. It could create a domino effect, and that's what they like. That's what they want. They want us to go through that domino effect so we can go back in the system, going back into getting that cheap insurance and going to the hospitalization doctor, looking at the insurance and seeing exactly your profile and everything. You know what, I think that it give this guy the terriblest freaking pharmaceutical drugs that there is. You got to take that once a day, every single day, and that's going to help you out. Every time you put chemicals in your body, you're messing yourself up. Over and over and over again, messing yourself up. There are so many things out there that can help our bodies that you don't even have to be taking any of that stuff. But they want you, why? Because it's $1 trillion. Rich get richer. The poor get poorer. Whoosah, right? Like I said, there's so much going on up here. If you bring a subject to me, I can sit down with you and I can tell you word for word. I mean, from the very book itself, which I have within my own head, and which you guys have within your own head too. But you got to choose to want that knowledge and choose to want to absorb that knowledge. So that's it when it comes to a universal perspective and how we do things and who we truly are deep down inside. Now, on the outer shell of who we truly are, we got to remember who we were when we were as kids. When we are as kids and we start being these type of children that want to run and play, we want to put uniforms on or our old costume in the middle of July or something and run around, and we want to do, you know, all these things. That is our child inner peace, the innocent part of us that is the most specialist part in the whole world that you cannot get rid of. As soon as that's gone, as soon as you get rid of that, as soon as you can't do what you used to do when you're 5 years old, they got you. They totally got you. Because as soon as you're born into this country or any other type of country, automatically you are a part of them. You are numbered with a number. You are a product. And what do we do? You know, growing up through in the education system, I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the actual country, this country. You know, so we're pledging ourselves into an actual slavery, whatever you want to call it. I didn't say those words. You know, so we're doing certain things that they want us to do, even through the educational system. Man, don't get me started on that. The educational system is all strategically done for a very specific purpose and a very specific reasons, in order for all of us to learn how they want us to learn and get back into that cycle of what I was talking to you about. When we go into the school, a public school, a private school, why is it that there's so many groups? You got your geeks over here, you know, you got your jocks over here, you know, you got all these popularity type of people over here. You have your emos that are over there. Everybody is separated into different type of categories. and all of a sudden certain things happen, and bad things happen, or good things happen, or really great things happen. People are going into success into this college. People are going into dropout type of mode over here in this, getting their GEDs and stuff. They want us to keep failing and just going towards whatever loop that they want us to go through in order for us to never achieve what we need to achieve. Even when we think that we've achieved everything. Look at these celebrities nowadays. If you had a sit down with any of these celebrities, I guarantee you, the real part of them, the ones where there are no cameras, if there's just you and that person sitting down, there's a lot of things that you're gonna know that find out that is not even true about what's happening, about what you see. Oh, I want to be an actor because that's my goal, but you don't have no idea what's actually happening behind the scenes. So that is just a rough draft of things, of me spilling everything out towards some of the knowledge that I actually have. And if anybody or anyone, actually, don't be shy, message me and just kind of, if you want a certain subject you want to lean on, you need some help. And a lot of it might be too deep, and a lot of it I need one-on-one time. And of course, unfortunately, because of all these circumstances that are happening and all these things that are still going on, I can't take any chances for the one-on-one. But it's like what I have said before, that I did have, a group here that I would actually help under the table, no social media. It was all just done kind of, right under the table, and it helped so many people because the unorthodox things that I had to do with them were just things that nobody would want to do if they're in that certain perspective that they're traditionally raised with, and how they're raised to think, and how the world told them how to act. If you go through that and your mind is imprinted with all of that, there's no way that you can actually do the things that I'm telling you to do, because they're so unorthodox that they're gonna scare the shit out of you. It's not gonna happen. But what it is, it's jolting that nervous system and making you aware about what's really going on. You are full of fear. No matter, even if you say right now that I don't have no fear in me, I'll tell you to go in front of 20 people in public, speak and do something. Are you going to do it? There's no, but I don't want to do it. Either you want the universe to listen to your calls and not have it being blocked like a dam that you build for all that flowing of water that is just trying to get through and burst out of that dam that you're in, and make you feel like you've never felt before, like you used to do when you were a kid, or like when you used to feel the way you used to feel at a certain time. Trust me, all these chemicals, all these foods, all these certain things that are going on out there, it's all building a dam. You're never going to be who you actually truly are. You have to get little pieces of information that I say, and you got to use it towards your abilities that you actually really have. And trust me, it'll happen. It'll happen. It'll happen. And I know you've all seen it and hear all these things before, saying, yeah, trust me, if you do it, it's going to happen, That's why it's so hard to kind of get through any messages out here, because all you got to do is scroll to the next person or whatever it is that you're going to do, and you're back into that cycle of what they actually want you to, they want you to be. And you're always going to be lost about things, because it's every time we pray to the universe and we want an answer, we just want something, whatever it is. I mean, pretend you want say a little teenage girl wants, a boyfriend or something, right? So anyway, she goes to the store, and a guy comes up to her, it's her age, and she's, hey, how you doing? And she's like, get away, because, he didn't look right, or because whatever that's inside her head. It's never going to happen for her. But wait a minute, that was the universe sending her somebody, an actual soulmate that can actually be romantically inclined for the rest of their entire lives. And she just ruined it. Why? Because of everything that it's in our mind. We don't see it. We want it to come in a form. We want it to come in some sort of form that we're thinking about and we're hoping and wishing about. Maybe it's a romantic movie or story. I don't know why I even brought that example up, but this is an example out of a million examples, and this is an example to help you understand a little bit about what I'm trying to talk to you about. When you pray to the universe, it's never going to come in the form that you actually think or believe or see. It's going to come into you and just a stranger out there. It could be just me speaking to you and you're praying or you're talking and you're thinking about something very strongly, and here I am giving you all the answers, and you scroll or you kind of whatever. Everything happens for a reason. There's no such thing as accidents. Just bringing up the accident thing. I mean, if I were to just keep bumping my head or bumping my shoulder into the walls, I mean, that means that there is some sort of disconnection that's going on, and it needs to be connected right away. If you feel something deep down inside, you feel scared, and I know a lot of you have felt that when you turn off the lights or you have a nightmare or something happens, you feel something that doesn't feel right. It's just the universe trying to tell you something. It's our abilities that we actually have within our minds and our heart, our body and soul, and our actual chakra to actually help us to try to figure out, and it's trying to tell us and tapping us on the shoulder, this is what you need to do. And another example, you're driving, and you're taking a left instead of a right. It could be something as simple as that you took a left because you did it for a good purpose and you're taking a left or whatever. But if you'd taken a right, you would have made a bad decision, and then boom, something happened. That's why I told you, it starts with little accidents of bumping your arm or head and, oh wow, my foot, or something like that. It's something trying to tap you on the shoulder. Don't leave. And it's very hard to kind of get these signals and all these interpretations and these riddles and these messages and signals and all these things, because like I said, there's so much that's going on right now. We're never going to know or never figure it out. And every time I watch the news every single day, I can't believe anything that it says because I wasn't even there. So I can't believe anything that it actually says. If it said that because this family got into a car accident, we have no idea what happened. I'm going off track again, but look, if you guys, whoever it is that want and need help and understanding, you want to get out of a prison that you think you're in, you want to remove yourself from something that you think you cannot remove yourself from, or any other or whatever, I can basically give you just simple understanding of it. From there, you're just going to have to kind of, walk the walk, and then from there, it just, you can go from there. But, wow. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys listening. For anybody that actually kept up and listening to this video word for word, absorbing all the knowledge from the beginning to the very end, wow, thank you for doing that. I know it's going to help you, and I know that if no matter what, you are the light, you are the godlike creature that is in this world and universe that we're in, and you are amazing. You can do pretty much anything that you want to do. Anything. Anything. You've heard it so many times. If you put your mind to something, you can do it. It's the truth. Trust me, it is. Trust me, it is. Be careful out there, everybody. Be safe, and please try to remember, take a step back. It's the only way sometimes we can even make it if you're going through a hardship. And don't wait till you're going through a hardship. Do it right now. Peace.